I'm just a young player coming into the league, and to be compared to, to a guy that's going on his 6th championship, it's kind of breathtaking.
This is the real secret story of what made Kobe Bryant a true legend, and it comes right from the guy who saw every single part of his 20-year climb to the top, Gary Vitti.
Everybody that looks at Kobe looks at him as this talented, unbelievable, one of the greatest basketball players that has ever lived. And I get that. But if you looked at Kobe through my eyes, okay, you don't actually see that.
The Lakers' legendary trainer of 30 years just dropped a massive truth bomb on Byron Scott's podcast, and it totally changes what we know about Kobe. According to Vitti, the man behind the Black Mamba was not born with crazy, once-in-a-lifetime talent. No way. In fact, Vitti says Kobe was not physically special at all. Now, this comes from a man who worked with legends like Kareem, Magic, and Shaq. When he looked at Kobe, he did not see some superhuman beast. He saw an athlete who was not huge, was not lightning fast, did not jump super high, and actually had less natural skill than guys like Tracy McGrady. Crazy, right? So how did this supposedly average guy end up with 5 championship rings while more gifted players got 0? The answer is much deeper and more intense than anyone ever thought.
Why does he have 5 rings? And other guys that were infinitely more gifted don't have any.
It involves Navy SEAL-style waterboarding, a scary horror movie obsession, and a mental toughness that Vitti says was unlike anything he had ever seen in sports. And once you hear what Vitti revealed in those November podcast episodes, you will finally see why Kobe's greatness had nothing to do with raw talent. It was something much deeper, something almost crazy. But before we get into the extreme stuff, you have to know who Gary Vitti really is and why his words matter so much. This is not just some random trainer who met Kobe for a few years. This man was there from the first day to the very last. From October 1984 all the way to April 2016, Gary Vitti with the Lakers head trainer. That made him the longest-serving head trainer in NBA history when he retired. That is true loyalty. He got his master's degree in sports medicine from the University of Utah. Even the great Pat Riley tried to hire him when he was almost done with his PhD. Across those many years, Vitti saw everything. 8 NBA titles, 12 trips to the finals, 13 head coaches, and he even won Trainer of the Year in 1991. Talk about a front-row seat to basketball history. During that time, Vitti took care of legends like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal. And of course, he was with Kobe Bryant through every injury, every comeback, and every big win. But his bond with Kobe was on a totally different level.
Little known fact, he told me that he got waterboarded. So they put like a towel over they lay you down, they tie you down.
Okay,
And then they pour water like you're drowning.
Right.
Yeah. He let them do that to him. Who does
so his
that?
choice. By choice, he let him do.
By choice.
No.
Okay.
No.
They met in Kobe's very first Lakers training camp in Hawaii back in 1996 when Kobe was only 17 years old. From that first day, something about the kid stood out. That means Gary Vitti literally watched Kobe grow up. He saw him go from a 17-year-old rookie to one of the greatest legends in basketball history. They even retired in the exact same season, finishing a 20-year journey side by side. Kobe once said that ending his career with Vitti after all those years was pretty sweet. And honestly, that tells you everything. So when this man talks about Kobe Bryant, you have to listen. He has earned that right. On Byron Scott's podcast, Vitti dropped a truth bomb so wild it shakes everything we thought we knew about greatness. He said straight up that after 20 years of working with Kobe, he did not see the natural talent people always thought was there. Sounds impossible, right? But wait until you hear what came next. Vitti explained that Kobe did not have a crazy vertical jump. He was not unusually big or fast for the NBA. And then he hit everyone with the line that made every jaw drop.
He comes running back to my seat. And he gets to me, goes, I could do it. I know I could do it. And he handed it to me and he walked away.
Yeah, because with my eyes, there was nothing really that special about Kobe Bryant. Can you believe that? Here is a guy who worked with legends and saw pure talent up close, and he is saying players with way more raw skill ended up with 0 championships while Kobe stacked up 5. So what was the real difference? That is exactly what Vitti asked himself on the show. And no, it was not about some top-secret training plan or a high-tech diet or even those famous 4 a.m. workouts people love to talk about. Vitti said the truth ran much deeper and much darker. He revealed that Kobe actually let Navy SEALs waterboard him, not for a movie role, not for a dare, but because he wanted to know what it felt like. That is right, he let military pros perform one of the harshest mental tests ever made, all out of curiosity. While other NBA stars were chilling at clubs, gaming, or enjoying normal downtime, Kobe Bryant was testing the edge of human limits with Navy SEALs. He needed to know if he could handle it. That is not just toughness, that is something completely different. This was a man pushing himself past normal limits, locked in a kind of mental war against his own fears. That is not normal athlete behavior. That is obsession on another level. Vitti told another insane story from 2005. On a team flight, Kobe walked up to him holding a DVD of Saw 2. If you have seen it, you know it is brutal.
Well, I popped the DVD in, and I'm watching this sick-ass movie, right? To hand this to me and look me straight in the eye and tell me that he could do it. And you want to know what?
You believed him,
I
too,
believe
huh?
him.
Yeah.
There's a scene where a guy has to cut into his own eye to pull out a key and escape a deadly trap. Most people would look away, right? But not Kobe. He handed Vitti the DVD and told him he had to watch something, then came running back later fully into it. What is happening here is chilling. Kobe did not flinch at that gross scene. He did not feel disgust or fear like a normal person would. Instead, he saw it as a test. He actually believed that if he were in that trap, he could do it. He could cut his own eye out to survive. That is how far his mind went. He was not scared of pain or limits, he was fascinated by them. So Kobe went home, watched Saw 2, and came back with the wildest takeaway ever. He actually said he believed he could cut his own eye out if he had to. And coming from Gary Vitti, that was not some fake drama. That was a cold, expert observation from a man who knew Kobe better than almost anyone alive. And see, while most people watch horror movies for fun, Kobe studied them like they were training manuals. That is what set him apart. He treated every scary scene like a mental exercise. He did not watch to be entertained, he watched to prepare. That was the difference between Kobe and everyone else. And here's the wildest part. This crazy mindset did not stay in his movies, it showed up on the court. Vitti saw Kobe apply that same energy to injuries that should have ended seasons or even careers. He has the proof too. Take the 2000 NBA Finals against the Indiana Pacers. Kobe went down with a brutal ankle sprain, the kind that should keep a player out for weeks. But during treatment, while Vitti was moving the bones in Kobe's foot, they both heard a loud pop. Vitti looked at him and said, "This is either going to be really good or really bad."
Then he says to me, so I reach back there and try to pull it back down.
Okay, that's going to be a hell of a trick,
I've had
though.
a bunch of athletes, since the beginning of my career, rupture Achilles. No one's ever said that to me.
Moments later, Kobe tied his shoes, got up, and tested his foot. And what did he do? He played just 2 days later, not 2 weeks. He scored 28 points in Game 4 and helped the Lakers win the title in 6 games. That is not just healing, that is pure willpower. But the most amazing story came years later on April 12, 2013. That was the night Kobe tore his Achilles. Most players would fall and need a stretcher, but the first thing Kobe did was reach back, try to pull the tendon down, and tell Vitti, "Tape it up, I will finish." Vitti had to tell him it was impossible. His Achilles was totally gone. So Kobe did something else crazy. He insisted on shooting his 2 free throws before leaving, and he did it. 2 perfect shots on one leg with his career almost over right there. Later, he said he refused the wheelchair on purpose just to get back at Paul Pierce for his famous 2008 exit. Even in pain, Kobe was playing mental games. That is how deep his mindset was. And it did not stop there. Just months before he retired, Kobe popped his finger out of place during a game against the Spurs. Vitti said he had to pull so hard to fix the bone that even Kobe was shaking in pain. Yet, just like always, he fought through it. That was Kobe. Pain was not a stop sign. It was part of the test. The second Vitti popped the finger back in, Kobe was already running back to the court. No waiting, no breaks, no excuses. And what did he do? He scored 25 points like nothing happened. Unbelievable. but what Vitti revealed about halftime that night tells you everything. It shows why he won rings instead of just surviving pain. When halftime came, the other Lakers did what most players do. They grabbed their phones, checked messages, or joked around. Normal stuff, right? Not Kobe. Never Kobe. While everyone else was wasting time, he was in the back with a laptop watching the first half. He was studying his own game in real time. He wanted to know exactly what he did wrong and how to win even harder in the next half. And here's the crazy part. He did that every single game for 20 years. While Shaq was on his phone, Kobe was looking at the defense. While Pau Gasol was checking texts, Kobe was studying his missed shots like a scientist. That is the kind of focus that turns a star into a legend. Talent might get you in the NBA, but brains, hard work, and obsession win rings. Kobe did not just love basketball, he studied it like his life depended on it. Even when he was tired and sweaty, he was looking for ways to win while everyone else was scrolling Instagram. That is why Vitti's point about talent hits so hard.
Kobe's an extremely intelligent guy. Extremely intelligent guy. Everything about him was calculated, almost choreographed, okay? Before he went out there, because he learned from not only his mistakes of others.
Kobe was not the most naturally gifted, but his brain and drive made him unstoppable. After Shaq left the Lakers, Kobe told Vitti, "I do not want to play with a dominant big man." He wanted to prove he could win alone, but after a few rough years, he humbled himself and went back to Vitti saying, "I need that." That moment changed everything. It led to the arrival of Pau Gasol and 2 more championships. But Vitti also wanted to set the record straight about Pau once and for all. People kept calling him soft because he was not built like Shaq, but Vitti was not having it. He shut that down, saying Pau was not soft. Trust me, it was just his style. He was a finesse player, and that shows why Kobe respected him, because Pau might have played with finesse, but mentally he was just as locked in. Vitti also admitted something that will humble anyone who thinks they can spot talent. When the Lakers traded Vlade Divac for a 17-year-old Kobe Bryant, Vitti did not see anything special. He said straight up, "I did not see it. I really did not." It was Jerry West who saw the spark, which means even the man who would spend the next 20 years at Kobe's side could not predict what was coming. And what came was history. 33,643 career points, 4th all-time when he retired, an average of 25 points a game over 2 decades, 5 NBA titles, 18 All-Star games, 1 league MVP, 2 finals MVPs, the list goes on. But numbers only tell half the story. It is the moments that really showed what Vitti meant when he said Kobe was not about talent, but about willpower mixed with smarts. Like January 22, 2006, the night Kobe dropped 81 points on the Toronto Raptors. That is the 2nd highest scoring game in NBA history. He went 28 for 46 from the field, and what is even crazier, he scored 55 of those points in just the second half. The Lakers were down by 18, and Kobe single-handedly flipped the script. That was not luck, that was control, precision, and obsession coming together in one of the greatest games ever. Then came April 13, 2016, the night of his grand finale. A 37-year-old Kobe on a worn-out body that had no business playing 40 minutes dropped 60 points on the Utah Jazz. In the 4th quarter alone, he outscored the entire Jazz team 23-21. In the last 2 minutes, he scored 13 straight points and led the Lakers back from a 10-point hole all by himself. That was not just talent, that was a brain that flat out refused to accept the word can't. Unbelievable. But behind the glory, there was a darker question. Was this approach even safe? Could any human live like that without breaking down? Even Vitti had doubts. In 2015, he told ABC News, "I am behind him 100% with the way he's training now, and I haven't always felt that way." That says a lot. He admitted that in the earlier years, Kobe's obsession might have pushed him too far. Vitti said, "If you keep training into fatigue, then you are going to train yourself into that position." In other words, Kobe did not just test his limits, sometimes he lived there, and Vitti had to get creative just to protect him. He confessed that he would often have to trick Kobe to rest. "If I tell him not to play," Vitti said, "that would actually make him want to play more." That's how stubborn Kobe's mind was. Logic did not work on him. Even science couldn't slow him down. When it came to the Achilles injury, Vitti refused to make excuses or call it bad luck. He looked at the big picture and admitted the truth. Maybe those long, hard minutes were part of what finally caught up to him. Maybe the 48 minutes was part of the total wear and tear, he said. It was a quiet admission that Kobe's body had paid the price for a mind that never accepted rest, only greatness. That brutal workload even included playing in the 2012 Olympics without giving his body a single moment to recover. And then Vitti said something that should really scare anyone trying to copy Kobe's mindset. If he had played only 30 minutes a game, he still might have torn that Achilles. That is chilling. Sports experts have started to question the whole Mamba mentality, warning that people are twisting Kobe's approach into something dangerous. Peter Zoga from Sheffield Hallam University said it straight. Misinterpreting Kobe's ideas could push players into dark mental spaces, leading to burnout and injuries. That is real. CBS Sports even asked a hard-hitting question. For every athlete inspired by Kobe's work while no one is watching style, how many ended up failing because they tried to copy his intensity without his smarts or self-awareness? Because Kobe did not just work hard, he worked smart. Most people forget that part. And when it comes to the science, research clashes with Kobe's legendary 4 a.m. workout routine. Sleep scientists have proven that lack of rest destroys performance, cutting down strength, speed, and focus. Studies show that waking up super early can hit the body harder than staying up late. That means Kobe's method was not just extreme, it was borderline inhuman. Kobe's mindset worked because he was built for it, mentally and physically. But for anyone else, trying to live that way would lead to a breakdown. This is the same man who let Navy SEALs waterboard him just to test himself, and who believed he could do surgery on his own eye. That is not a grind. That is mental extremism mixed with elite skill. It worked for Kobe because he lived on an edge that almost no one else could survive. And at the end of the podcast, Vitti said something that cut through all the hype. He said, "I want people to know Kobe, not just the Mamba." That hit deep, because there was another side to him that people rarely talk about, the part that did not live in competition or pain. Vitti saw Kobe meet more than 200 children battling big illnesses through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He described a softer, very human Kobe who connected with those kids on a level no camera could capture. It was a reminder that beneath the drive and the 4 a.m. workouts, there was still a man with a heart and empathy that burned just as bright. In those final thoughts, Vitti described something almost impossible to imagine. A tender, emotional Kobe Bryant, a man who could be full of warmth and love around his family, showing a side completely different from the one who got waterboarded for fun. Shortly before the tragic crash on January 26, 2020, that took Kobe and his daughter Gianna, Kobe sent Vitti a video of Gianna hitting his signature jump shot perfectly. You can feel the pride and love in that moment. And when Vitti talks about it now, you can hear the heartbreak in his voice. He said, "Every single day I am reminded of him. I can't seem to get past that." After 2 decades together, what Vitti lost was not just an athlete, it was family. Because behind all the rings, the 81-point night, and the Mamba mentality, Vitti saw the full picture. He saw the young rookie grow into a champion, a husband, and a father. And even after watching greatness up close, he still says it plain. When he first met Kobe, there was nothing physically special about him. No insane speed, no superhuman bounce, no crazy vertical, not even above average size for the NBA. By all measurements, Kobe Bryant was ordinary. But the man himself was anything but. Somehow, this average athlete turned into one of the 5 greatest players in basketball history. The secret was not raw talent, it was psychology. Kobe's mind worked on a completely different level. He was the guy who saw waterboarding as curiosity, not torture. He watched a movie where someone cut into their own eye and thought, yeah, I could do that if I had to. That is not insanity, that is an unshakable will to test every limit. While his teammates were on their phones at halftime, Kobe was breaking down film to fix his game for the second half. His mind was always hunting for answers, studying and calculating. Every move he made came from brains and obsession, not just instinct. He refused to believe in the word can't. Vitti summed it up perfectly. Kobe taught me that talent is the most overrated thing in life. That is powerful, especially coming from a man who worked with Kareem, Magic, and Shaq. Those guys had talent that could fill a stadium. But Kobe, he was something entirely different. He was extreme. He was relentless. He was willing to push himself past the point of reason just to see how far he could go. Here's the final truth Vitti wanted the world to understand. You cannot copy Kobe Bryant. And honestly, you probably should not, because the same drive that made him great also tore his body apart. Ruptured Achilles, torn rotator cuff, broken bones, the list goes on. Kobe was not just chasing greatness, he was sacrificing himself for it. His body paid the price that most people would never dare to pay. And that is what makes his story so haunting and so inspiring. There was nothing physically special about Kobe Bryant except for his total refusal to be normal. That is the real Mamba mentality, raw, obsessive, extreme, and far darker than any Nike ad could show. If you love this story and want more deep dives into the legends and the madness behind the game, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Basketball Pulse for more real talk about the icons who changed sports forever. Stay tuned for more videos.